She is the woman behind a lot of eco efforts on the Central Coast and beyond, and the Earth Day Food and Wine Festival that will indeed be held Saturday, April the 20th at Pomar Junction in Templeton. Kris, welcome to the program.
Thanks so much for having me. Good morning.
Good morning. Do I have that right? Earth Day is always on the 20th, right?
Well, actually, Earth Day typically falls at different days of the week, but we pick a date on a weekend because that just seems more fitting.
Okay. I see.
But it is in April every year.
I should know better because...
I'm looking at earthday.org, so I'll have more information in a moment.
Oh, yes. Patty's always good about this, Kris. She researches while we talk. She is my right-hand woman, and I could not... seriously do the show without her. So, Kris, what's new and exciting this year?
Gosh, we're so excited. You know, this is the 7th annual Earth Day Food and Wine Festival, and we couldn't be more pleased with how this event has evolved and the community support. We have such an amazing lineup of chefs, restaurants, farmers, and wineries that all get together sort of around this concept of Earth Day and kind of the environmental side of, you know, food and wine and cuisine. And it's really amazing. It's got a very kind of casual vibe, yet it's very high quality. You know, every year, you know, they sort of trump each other and try to get the next best dish out there for people. And you know, a couple things are really unique about this event is we have it's a 1-to-1 food to wine ratio.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. Deep pause, right?
Yeah,
and,
I like that.
Yeah, and so, you know, very high quality, lots of it, and you know, this event isn't very crowded. So, you know, you're not gonna wait in line to wait. You're not gonna be sort of, you know, elbowing through the crowds. We have a really beautiful venue and a beautiful layout out in the Vineyard at Pomar Junction, Vineyards and Wineries. So
that's a great location. You weren't always there, right? You started at Santa Margarita Ranch and then moved to Pomar Junction?
Well, we even had one before Santa Margarita Ranch, but we move it every few years. It's, you know, kind of fun for the visitors. It's fun for us as organizers to be able to try something different. We're always, you know, we're a farmer group. You know, the Vineyard team is a farmer group, and this is our really only, you know, consumer-focused event. And, you know, the whole idea was that, you know, we're doing all this really great work in terms of sustainability, and we know that there are other people out there doing this great work, and we know that there are community members that care about this work. And so it was, you know, a kind of a funny opportunity to pull all of these things together around the spirit of Earth Day and around the spirit of food and wine to celebrate farmers, because, like, what's more earthy than farmers, right?
It's true. The next, you know, beyond the whole Earth Day Food and Wine Festival, Kris was saying that, you know, they're a group of farmers and such. The next time you buy a bottle of wine, look at the label, and if you see SIP, SIP, on it. Mm-hmm. That means it is SIP certified, which means sustainability in practice, and that is the core of your whole project, right, Kris?
Well, and that's one of many things that we do, and we're in our 6th year of the SIP certification program, and it was the natural evolution to sort of develop an independent third-party sustainable certification. We've been at this sustainability path, you know, since the mid-'90s, and before sort of the S word was cool. But yeah, right now there's over 800,000 cases of wine that actually have the SIP seal on it.
Wow.
And it's very exciting. The program continues to grow. There are 30,000 statewide acres that are certified, you know, 800,000 cases of wine that carry the seal. And what we find is that people really appreciate kind of the green and the eco side of this sustainability certification because it addresses the whole farm and energy and soils and water, but it also addresses the people side. And, you know, and what we find is that people really care and they want to support companies that are taking good care of the environment and their workers.
And it's nice that you are making that easy for people who want to do that and support that by putting that little mark, the SIP mark on the label. That's good to hear.
Right.
Okay, just to let you guys know, April 22nd is Earth Day. It was decided back in 1970. That was the first Earth Day. But depending on where that falls in the week, a lot of the activities associated with Earth Day will, as Kris was saying, happen on the weekend. So
Thank
more
you.
people can get involved.
Yes, thank you for
Well
clarifying.
done.
Yes.
That is bravo. Patty. So the Pomar Junction there is such a great venue for it. I love the fact, one of the reasons that sometimes I don't go to like food and wine festivals is I don't like that crowded feeling where everyone's jammed
Elbow
in.
to elbow.
Elbow to elbow and waiting in line for a little tiny sample and that sort of thing.
For
And
a carrot stick.
Right, exactly. And that is not the situation there at the Earth Day Food and Wine Festival because of the venue. The other thing that I like that you've used as a slogan, I don't know, for 1 or 2 years now, is no tie-dye required. Because
Right.
Earth Day's moved beyond a fringe movement.
Well, and that's such a great point because, when I first started this, I remember being on the radio 7 years ago and people were like, well, what does Earth Day have to do with food and wine? And seriously, people asked me, they said, well, aren't people going to be wearing tie-dye? Are they going to be getting naked and jumping into the pond?
Not that would be bad, but...
There was this whole idea of Earth Day being, sort of this hippie thing. But what I love about this event is that people come to it from all backgrounds, all ages. Everybody's trying to tread a little bit lighter, and I think of sort of conservation. I think of my grandma, and she was not a hippie, but she had, buckets to collect water in her showers, and she would water her plants with it. She was the original recycler before there were blue bins, and, there are lots of different ways to sort of do this and to care about it. And if you want to wear tie-dye, that's totally cool. But, tie-dye is not required.
Nice to know.
Yes.
The tent is getting bigger.
Yes. Have you ever thought of expanding? Like you were saying, it's a 1-to-1 food ratio, or food and wine ratio at this event. Have you ever thought of expanding your certification for food products? We produce so many food products in California. Have you thought of a label similar to the SIP certified that could go on food packaging?
Yeah, we've definitely been approached by, different farmers and different ag groups. It's certainly something that we're open to, and we're a small but mighty group, but
Best kind.
we're sort of, we want to make the world a better place. So we'll see if something like that happens.
All right, Kris Beal, Central Coast Vineyard team. Check out the Earth Day Food and Wine Festival. It's so easy, earthdayfoodandwine.com. Thanks, Kris.
Thank you.
All right, stick around, everyone. A great hour coming up this next hour. We are learning about